Okay, so this will be very painful for some who don't necessarily keep up with Destiny completely. They don't watch like Bungie streams or anything like that. Don't have a Twitter, don't pay attention on there. A lot of people had been waiting for the Warlock to be nerfed for a very long time, including myself. It's kind of, the inspiration, I'd say, mainly for why we created the sweaty rule, one max subclass each per team, is because if you had a team with 3 Sunsingers on it, it kind of does apply to different subclasses. Like if you had 3 Axions or 3 Hammers when they were good, it was going to be a problem. But that was kind of like the main thing I think that annoyed everyone, was getting burned by a team of 3 Firebolts. So everyone thought that today was going to be the day that they announced all these changes, and the main focus of the nerf on Warlocks would be their grenade and Viking funeral and everything. But that turns out to be the one thing that they did not change at all. So leading up to the final moment of the stream, they had covered melees. So now Warlock melees, you regenerate them slower. For Scorch melee, and once you get your flame shield up, a lot of people kind of predicted that it would work where you only got your flame shield if you killed someone with your Scorch melee, but that wasn't the case. You still get it if you just touch someone once, but the armor you get from it is greatly decreased from what it was in the past. I could be wrong, they didn't really talk about this much, but it seemed like there was kind of a area of effect nerf for the Firebolts. It kind of looked like someone should have tagged someone a few times, but it didn't. I'm not entirely sure about that. They also said that, mainly for trials, self-res was a very popular perk. Pretty much everyone, if they're playing trials and on a Sunsinger, that's kind of the thing they're going to run, besides very few select players that maybe don't play trials as much, and they're just kind of used to Radiant skin from skirmish and whatnot. They decided to make it so when you pop self-res, your radiance will last a lot shorter than you would if you had something on like Radiant skin. So now if you self-res in trials, it's going to go a lot slower than it would normally. Another thing that I should mention pretty quickly, except for this, this video is mainly about Warlocks, but another thing that I should mention if you don't want to watch the stream is the topic of revives. So revives are a lot slower now. The main thing is, it wasn't really like revives in general that were that overpowered. It's when you have like a team of 3 quick res, exotic armor wearing people where they can all just sprint past the person and get a revive. So the one thing that I thought I would tell you is you can't sprint past the body and get a revive. You also have to be a little bit closer to the person in order to pick up their revive, so that kind of helps as well. You can't really revive people around corners as effectively. But getting back to the main topic about Warlocks, you can throw your grenades faster, I think, in your super, so that was kind of like a indirect nerf or indirect buff, I guess, because not many people, at least in the sweaty community, because when I see stuff, I kind of see it from that sweaty point of view where I don't really think how it would apply to like something like trials. That's just me, but they didn't really nerf Sunsinger that much. They nerfed the melees a little bit, but the main thing that I never really thought this was the problem, because I don't get tagged by Firebolts that much when I play against top players like War or whatever. In the sweaty competitive, quote-unquote competitive Destiny scene, I don't get tagged that much. It's mainly the melee where you lag on the screen and you get an overshield that screws me up for the most part. So I'm kind of excited, because the one thing that I kind of struggled with was dealing with that overshield, because once they get it, it's extremely difficult to kill them, especially if you're trying to run up to them with a shotgun. After shock package was nerfed, way back when, it's been extremely difficult to get people once they're once they have their flame shield up. So there's a few changes that were good, but effectively Warlock has not been touched that much. A lot of people were predicting that today was going to be the day that the Warlock ended because of how they treated the past subclasses in the form of Blade Dancer and the Sunbreaker. But the thing that made the Sunbreaker and the Blade Dancer so good was one, Blink, which was its main movement ability. And when you get rid of a movement ability, it really does screw up the whole class. You can do pretty well using double jump, but then the consequence of that is that your super is going to be even worse than it was before. And even if you do have Blink on, it's a lot slower now and it's a lot easier to track, so that thus furtherly makes your super worse. So as effect of only nerfing Blink, of course they also did nerf arc bolts, but not many people use those anymore. Skip grenades are kind of taking over, which in my opinion are the second most powerful, strongest grenades in the game. I get killed by them so much. As soon as they're on you, it's really hard to get rid of them. But from what I've seen, Once you nerf blink, you nerf the super, you nerf the movement ability as a whole. If you try to go with a different option in the form of double jump, you can't use your super at all. And even when you do have blink on trying to use your super, you're going to be extremely slow as well as easier to see. Sunbreaker, nothing was really special about the subclass except for the over the top super, which when that's nerfed, the subclass wasn't terrible, but now it was just like this extremely mediocre subclass with nothing special about it. So I'm pretty happy with what they did to Sunsingers, because Sunsinger was kind of like the only class that made last word sniping against like top Thorn shotgun players viable at all, even though it's still really difficult to do with it. But I'm excited for the changes. I'm excited for special to come back in the beginning of every round. Now you spawn with it in 3 minutes into the round, it's gonna pop up again, and then 2 minutes after that. So I'm pretty pumped for the changes. I think it's gonna be fantastic. We're gonna have to kind of see how it all plays out, especially with Last Word and Thorn. Yeah, I'll make a video on Last Word and Thorn next, but I kind of want to mainly focus on subclasses for this video, specifically Sunsinger. And yeah, I'll hope I get the chance to make another video about hand cannons, but until then, unfortunately, this is all I can squeeze in. I'm really sick right now, so it's extremely painful for me to talk. So I'm gonna have to cut it here, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want me to make a video on how you might want to run your Voidwalker, because Voidwalker was actually buffed in this April 12th update, not too majorly. They didn't change Nova Bomb or anything or Blink, but there has been a few passive abilities that have been buffed a little bit. And overall, I think if people want to switch from Sunsinger and they want to see the best perks you're going to want to be using on Voidwalker, I could do that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.